exercises for week 2, starting with just checking in with your ankles. So just doing some points and some flexes, seeing how those ankles are feeling, some circles as well, going both directions, thinking about whether there's any tension in there, any stiffness, does one perhaps move better than the other? And holding the knees for some inversion and eversion, trying to move from the ankles rather than the whole of the leg moving. So just think, how does that feel? Once you've done a few of those, we've checked in, seen how our ankles are feeling, let's move on to the exercises. You're going to need a stack of books or a small coffee table or a stool, and then I've got 2 of my yoga balls in here. Inside a bag, you could be using a sock. Make sure you tie up the end so that those balls don't come pinging out partway through, and then we're just going to put this underneath our ankle. So we're working on ankles and calves. So holding here, just see how it feels. Just take a moment to breathe and just release and relax into the firmness of the balls. And then we're going to add in a little circle. So we're circling the ankle. And again, you might feel one part where it feels particularly stiff. Make sure you go both directions, really trying to mobilise into that ankle. And we want to go for some pointing and flexing work. You might do 5 of each. And then we want to go for the whole leg drops in and out. So I can really feel that on the outside of my ankle today. Giving it a really good massage. And if you've got a spot where you particularly find it, then you can just hold for a bit longer there. And then it's rolling in and rolling out. So a kneeling lunge to hamstring stretch. Rocking forwards and backwards. You can have hands on the floor or have this support under your hands. Want to be rocking all the way back. Flex the foot and then plant it back down. So we have pulling the toes towards you. So now with your balls in your sock on top of your blocks, we're just going to place the ankle on top there and take that release. So just sit there for a second, just feel what's happening, maybe move around a little and just see how does it feel. And then if you find a really tight bit, just hold there. Keep breathing. And we want to do some pointing and flexing. So point and flex that foot. I'm actually going to move because of where my ankle needs to be. I'm just going to move very slightly here. So point and flex. And then circles as well. And that internal and external rotation. So trying to drop the foot to either side. So that's the release through the front here. Make sure you do both sides. Toes tucked underneath. And then you want to sit yourself slightly back. We want to bend this back foot and up we come. So thinking knee towards the floor and up. And if you need to hold on to something, then do. We're stretching into the top of the foot and the ankle, and then come down and do a little drop in and a drop out. Trying to keep this knee nice and still. You can just see how that feels. Here we've got our seated calf smash. One ball, you can keep it in the sock, place it underneath your knee pit and then hug in. See how that feels in that calf. Just holding and breathing. You can do some ankle circles whilst you're here. Again, that will just change the way that muscle is working the calf. Then pointing and flexing. Calf massage. Taking one ball underneath the calf and rolling along. So once again, we want to find those tight areas. So something you could do sat on a chair, have your leg propped up on a table. Find those tight bits. When you find them, just hold, take a pause, spend some time there, and then move slowly on. Into mountain pose. We've got our feet flat on the floor, those toes are separated, weight over toes and heels, so you can do a little rock forwards and backwards and find where neutral is. The pelvis is in, the ribs are in, the shoulders are down, and just feel how that is. So connecting with those feet, wiggle those toes around. How grounded are you? Then we're going to shift our weight onto the left leg. We're going to bring the right foot up. We're going to try to hug this hip in towards us so we're not pushing it out to the side. So the hip is in, the waist is long. Just standing and balancing, keeping the ankle nice and still and supporting you. That's stage one. Stage two is to add in our arms. So we exhale up and we inhale down, lifting and lowering the arms. Stage three is to keep our arms up and a side bend in towards the midline of the body. Woo. Trying to maintain that stability throughout. And then come down and just check in again. Back into mountain pose. Does it feel any different on this ankle? Obviously repeat all of that on the other side, but then I've got another variation for you. So if that is feeling all absolutely fine, grab yourself a towel. Stand on the towel. Now we're creating an uneven surface. And then it's back into mountain pose, holding, checking in. How's it feeling? Gain that stability. Arms up. Ooh, arms down, definitely harder. Arms up and down. Then we're going to add in our side bend. So remember, we come in towards the side, in towards the midline of the body. That's it. Getting balance back. And then stepping off. Can you feel that work that's gone on? So always then test it out. So you can go back to your heel raises and your air squats and see the difference.